A huge storm will bring heavy rainfall and flash flooding across the Great Lakes and the Northeast as we head into early this coming week, as well as the potential for a cool down to ensue across the middle and eastern portions of the country into early next week, followed by another warm up which could bring unseasonably warm temperatures across the middle of the country as we head into next weekend, and your tropical weather forecast all in this video. Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday morning out there. Welcome back to Weather on the Go's weather forecast. Again, if you guys are new to the channel or not subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button down below, as well as that like button, which is the thumbs up button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before September 20th, so you guys want to help out in subscribing down below, definitely much appreciated here as well. So let's get back here into the weather forecast. We got lots to talk about here today. We got a stronger storm system moving through the center of the country as we speak, and this is going to continue to kind of take a shape of an upper level low with a trough kind of digging down here into the Midwest. We got this vorticity signature showing up here with some brighter colors across the western Great Lakes as we head through the day today on your Sunday, and this is going to continue to spread its way to the east and actually organize itself a little bit more as we head into your Monday afternoon, with more of a bowling ball type of trough developing across portions of the southern Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley as we head into Monday. And what this will do is actually bring the threat for some marginal to slight risk for some flash flooding across portions of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, into the Northeast as we head not only into today, but even into your Monday and potentially on Tuesday as well. So let's kind of time out some of this rainfall this morning. We got a stripe of rain here from Green Bay, Wisconsin, all the way down towards St. Louis here this morning. This will kind of pinwheel its way towards the Chicagoland area and towards portions of eastern Illinois and northwestern Indiana as we head into later on this afternoon and toward the evening hours. Some heavier rainfall can be found here across portions of Milwaukee, getting up towards Green Bay and Madison, Wisconsin. Some of these rainfall rates could be in excess of an inch per hour, so definitely bring the umbrella here this afternoon and evening across these areas, as we could be seeing some widespread heavy rainfall. And then as we get into Monday and Monday afternoon, we'll start to see a strengthening upper level low start to kind of occlude itself a little bit more as we kind of move into the afternoon hours, where we kind of have a cold front moving through the Ohio Valley with some showers and storms ahead of that right along the Appalachian chain, but then kind of wrap around moisture here back towards the Green Bay areas, back into the UP of Michigan, all the way down into eastern Iowa and northern Illinois into Monday afternoon and evening, with more potentially heavy rainfall across these areas on the backside of this low pressure system as it moves to the east. And here's the rainfall totals through the next 48 hours, guys. This goes all the way through the Monday evening time frame on September 12th, and you can see in these red shaded colors, even some of these orange shaded colors trying to show up here across southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. We could be talking about rainfall amounts of 2 to 4 inches, maybe even locally 6 inches potentially on the high end as we move into these areas. Like I said, northern Illinois, southern and especially southeastern Wisconsin here, Milwaukee down toward Rockford, Illinois, kind of in that bullseye for the potential of some heavy rainfall as we move through the next 48 hours. But we also do have a cool down as well to speak about here. We do have a cool down across the middle of the country. This will spread its way to the east, first across the Great Plains and the upper Midwest as we head into this afternoon. A lot of cooler anomalies showing up here with these blue shaded colors. But as we move into Monday, this will spread a little bit farther to the east across the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, all the way down to the deep south. We could be feeling some effects here of this upper level low pressure system as we move into early next week, and this will eventually get replaced by a ridge of high pressure across the middle of the country, across the Great Plains and into the upper Midwest as we head in towards the middle of next week, while some of this cooler air starts to move eastward towards the Appalachians here, all the way down toward the southeast as we get into that Tuesday and even Wednesday time frame of next week. And looking at the temperatures here at the surface for your Sunday 9/11 here, we definitely have a lot of upper 60s here across much of the Midwest. Even some upper 50s cannot be ruled out across southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, with lots of heavy cloud cover, lots of heavier rainfall and thunderstorm activity there today. But again, even just much across the northern and central plains, all the way down to the Red River here in North Texas, we could be talking about just upper 70s to lower 80s this afternoon. It might actually be, you might have to go all the way south into coastal Texas or coastal Louisiana, coastal portions of Mississippi to find lower 90s and all that heat. You have to go way south here as we head into later on today. And even here looking at tonight, look at these low temperatures, guys, across portions of the upper Midwest and the plains. We could be dropping down to the lower 40s, if not some upper 30s, guys, across portions of the Dakotas, even northern portions of Minnesota toward the Arrowhead of Minnesota, even portions there of northern Illinois and portions of eastern Iowa, middle 50s as we head into later on here tonight. And even as we head into Monday, that bowling ball of low pressure system, kind of the upper level low, will kind of pivot its way to the east across the Ohio Valley, bringing much of those low to mid 60s across the Chicago lakefront all the way up to Milwaukee and Green Bay, and then kind of moving its way over toward Detroit with lower 70s there. We'll start to see a little bit of that high pressure system and that ridge start to build back across the western plains and into the front range of the Rockies as we head into Monday. But again, Monday night, guys, look at these widespread low temperatures here into the middle 40s, if not upper 40s, so still some refreshing air across much of the north central United States as we kind of move into that Monday, September 12th timeframe into Tuesday morning. And then looking at this as we head toward the middle of next week, we do have a ridge that's going to be replacing this kind of trough that's going to be moving to the east into the northeast here as we head toward the middle of next week. And this will bring some warmer temperatures northward, surging all the way north here toward the middle Mississippi Valley, if not the Midwest, as we head into that Wednesday, September 14th timeframe, and building even farther north as we head towards the middle of September on your Thursday, September 15th. We have a bit of a trough trying to dig down here to the Pacific Northwest, kind of a broad trough, nothing to really speak about here toward the middle of the month, but things will change as we get a little bit farther out, longer range, so we'll continue to monitor that. But looking longer range, especially though towards that Friday, September 16th through Tuesday, September 20th, as we kind of move into that third week in September, the Climate Prediction Center's forecast is certainly above normal, a 90 to even 100% chance of above normal temperatures across especially northern Missouri, back into Kansas there, southern Iowa, but mainly just the middle of the country and on eastward towards portions of the Ohio Valley and the Northeast will likely be above normal all the way towards that third week in September. We have a trough digging down into the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest, bringing some cooler temperatures across portions of Oregon, Washington, and down towards portions of northern California as we get into that time frame. And it looks like with that trough, that active storm track will remain across the Pacific Northwest, the northern Rockies, all the way over toward the western Great Lakes and upper Midwest here, with above normal precipitation favored between Friday, September 16th and Tuesday, September 20th, with a classic La Niña pattern here where we have drier than normal conditions from the desert Southwest through North Texas, all the way through the Tennessee Valley here, really centered on middle and eastern Tennessee, all the way up here through portions of Kentucky and parts of the mid-Atlantic, with some drier than normal conditions there. But looking here a little bit farther out, let's look here towards next weekend. There is a pretty significant storm system I do want to talk about, and this is going to be diving down. A very significant jet streak is going to really be moving in across the Aleutian Islands and just off the coast here of the United States as we head into next Saturday on your September 17th. And this will start to dive farther to the south towards that following week on your Monday, September 19th and Tuesday, September 20th timeframe. There is a pretty strong positively tilted trough that's really going to be digging down across portions not only of the Pacific Northwest, but even parts of California, Nevada, seeing a very powerful, trough moving in. And this is actually going to be a pretty significant storm system, the likes of which we haven't seen in quite some time out west. And looks like here, looking at the vorticity signature, guys, looks pretty impressive. Another bowling ball type of trough moving in across California. And this will really tighten up even further as it moves towards central California as we head into that Tuesday, September 20th time frame, and even farther out. So we'll continue to watch this, but yeah, looking at that looks pretty impressive. And again, that could bring some severe weather and maybe some heavy rainfall out west, and then we'll kind of watch that as that moves towards the Great Plains a little bit farther out. But I did want to mention this as well. We have the La Niña still in place. Like I said, we have a moderate La Niña still in place right now. We have a negative 1.0 on the Niño index here, and that is firmly in a moderate La Niña status. And actually the last couple of days it's kind of been weaving in and out of weakening and kind of strengthening, but it has kind of moved back to a strengthening stage. So we're starting to see another downtrend in this La Nina pattern. And it looks like the reason being is because the last 7 days we've seen kind of some bursts of some cooler waters across the equatorial Pacific. And this is definitely bringing some cooler temperatures here to the surface of the water temperature, of the waters of the Pacific Ocean. And looking here overall, the La Nina is firmly in place here. You can see off the coast of South America and westward here along the equator. You can definitely see where we have the cooler waters. That is La Nina, and to the north of Hawaii, we have the warmer water. So classic La Nina pattern underway, and that will continue as we head through the peak of the fall months, as we head towards fall equinox, and then further into October and even early November. We'll really keep an eye on the La Nina conditions, as I still do think we will strengthen this La Nina to a strong La Nina officially, I think, either late this month or probably into October. So we'll continue to watch this and update you guys on that as well. But looking at the tropics, things are starting to quiet down. We did have Danielle, we did have Earl, but now we're starting to kind of quiet down a little bit. We do have an area to watch here across the southeastern Atlantic Ocean, just coming off the coast of Africa right now, moving west-northwestward. This is well to the east of the Windward Islands. This is several days away, and again, we'll continue to watch it. About a 30% chance of development over the next 5 to 10 days, so we'll continue to watch this. Looking here at this visible satellite imagery, yeah, much quieter picture here. We got Earl kind of still up to the north, but really kind of not doing too much. It's pretty much out of the picture now. We are watching this wave, however, like I showed you across portions of the southeastern Atlantic Ocean. This will be eventually moving west and then west-northwestward with time. Again, well over the open waters of the southern Atlantic, so plenty of time to watch this. And it really only has a 30% chance of development. But looking at this, how this could develop, we have Earl way up here to the north, kind of a post-tropical system moving to the northeast, away from the Canada and away from the United States. This is this afternoon. We got this wave moving across here. Not a tropical depression here as of today, but as we move into early next week, we could have 1, maybe 2 systems come out of this here with a tropical wave or a tropical depression of some sort. We'll continue to watch this. If we do get a name stormed out of this, the next storm name would be Fiona. So we'll continue to watch that into next Tuesday, and then beyond towards next weekend here, and getting late next weekend. Again, maybe a tropical depression, but we'll continue to watch this. This could start to move a little farther west toward the Windward Islands. But even by next Thursday, guys, on September 15th, this is still well to the east of the Windward Islands. So we still have plenty of time to watch this. And looking at the water temperatures, if these systems can develop, and if there's low enough wind shear for these systems to kind of organize, yeah, then I think we could be talking about a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm. And again, the next name would be Fiona. So we'll continue to monitor the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and the Gulf through the next several days for you guys. But looking over here to the Eastern Pacific Ocean, things are a little bit more active, I guess, slightly. We still have a 40% chance of development of a possible tropical system just to the south or right along the coast there of southern Mexico. We'll continue to watch this as well. This could be another system worth noting across the Eastern Pacific Ocean. It did catch my eye too, especially looking at some of the weather forecast models I'll show you here in a minute. But look at the satellite imagery is actually pretty impressive. We got some stronger thunderstorms here right along portions of the Central Americas, along the coast here of southern Mexico, and just kind of over the open waters of the Eastern Pacific here. Pretty disorganized right now, but it is pretty impressive. Some of those thunderstorm tops I did look at were actually 45, 50, 55,000 feet or so. So definitely some pretty impressive storms. But looking at this afternoon, pretty quiet across the Eastern Pacific. But as we move in towards, early next week on your Tuesday, September 13th, maybe, just maybe a depression, a tropical depression could form just along and south of the Mexico coast there. So we'll continue to watch that. And then as we get toward late next week, I do think the potential does arise that we could be looking at another strengthening tropical depression, if not a strengthening tropical storm that could be named here potentially as we get towards late next week. And then by the time we get potentially to next Friday, next Saturday timeframe on September 16th and getting into September 17th, the icon model here is actually showing a 996 millibar low, which actually would translate probably to a mid-grade tropical storm. And then look at this, guys, maybe even a tropical depression trying to form just to the west of the Central Americas right behind that as well. well. So it looks like the Eastern Pacific is quiet as well for right now, but things could be getting active here in short order. So we'll continue to watch that. Looking over at the European forecast model, similar here on your Friday, September 16th, with maybe a tropical storm, maybe a tropical depression here, and generally the same area just south of the Mexico coast. And looking at the GFS is usually a little more biased towards the stronger systems. Right now shows a 986 millibar low pressure center, which would probably characterize this as a Category 1, maybe a Category 2 hurricane on this model. But again, it's showing the exact same type of track, potentially right along the coast and maybe getting up towards southern Baja of California here. So we'll continue to watch that. We got plenty of time to watch this, but again, I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle of right now is what I'm thinking. Probably a tropical storm could be named. Could there be a hurricane? It's a potential, but again, we'll continue to monitor these weather forecast, these weather forecast models for you guys to get a better handle on this further out. But looking at the water temperatures, it wouldn't be a shock. It wouldn't be a surprise to see any, tropical storms or hurricanes come out of this. We still got, 80-degree water temperatures across portions of the Eastern Pacific, particularly across portions of the coast of Mexico. But the farther off the coast, you get more into those 75 to borderline 80 degrees Fahrenheit type of sea surface temperatures. Still favorable for hurricanes, but again, a little cooler off to the west and especially to the north towards Southern California. But again, we'll continue to watch this area here, especially since it's kind of highlighted over an area that has those more favorable water temperatures and less shear. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers before September 20th, so definitely subscribe. It's free to do. Press the subscribe button down below, as well as like the video. Press the thumbs up down below as well. Definitely appreciate it. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. I definitely will get to those later on today. Have a great Sunday, everybody, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video.